And now, it's about that time.
Pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4. Here we go, Roger.
And on Insights, two eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Bam, 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 bam. I got you. What I shot you with was COVID-19 shots, and I gave you the booster shot and hit you with a machine gun, so you inoculated and protected. This is Mickey Clayton, the coach, with my boy, the reporter, Rick Brown.
What's happening, Coach? What's going on, my friend?
You know, it's always, always, always something.
Oh, tell me about it, bro. Tell me about it.
Now, there you go with a Coca-Cola. What? My man John Grant, who coming on in a little minute, he probably a Coca-Cola man too, but for his sake, I drink a Coke for him. But you know, I'm a Pepsi man. My man John, he's out of Atlanta. I don't think they even make Pepsi. I think all they ever make over there is Coca-Cola.
That's right. That's right. That's why Atlanta is my second favorite city in the whole wide world.
I'm not even asking about what your first is. I'm not even gonna touch that.
You already know, Coach.
You gonna tell me New Orleans?
No.
Don't tell me Washington.
The most powerful city in the world? Yes.
I won't even argue that.
The District of Columbia, soon to be hopefully the 51st state in the United States. Please.
Now you're getting carried away again. You're getting carried away again.
Hey, let's get it right. Get it right, folks.
Hey, you know, we had a show a couple weeks ago about COVID-19. Very popular show, but doggone if this thing isn't getting worse. And you know, we're basically a sports show, but we talk about what's going on in the news. And I have a couple things. One, I have to say, did you even know the Olympics were going on?
the what? Wait a minute, no. See, I was about to start.
I'm already getting ready for Paris. I mean, but did you know the Olympics were even going on? They didn't even have the basketball team on.
Hey, I did see one Olympic event. No, actually, I saw two. I saw the finals of the men's basketball, the gold medal game, and I saw the gold medal game of women's volleyball.
Okay, and we usually watch track. We didn't see track either.
I didn't see track at all. I missed it all. I missed Allison Felix doing her thing. I missed the 100-yard. I missed all the track, and that's usually the one thing I watch all the time.
Well, you know, the New South has what? Is that the New South North Carolina A&T is going to? And they did a clip about Ross being on that 400 meters. Yeah. And boy, the A&T Aggie people ate them up so much about the first and second leg with Aggies and da-da-da-da-da. Man, they ate them up pretty good. But the first two legs on that 400 by 400 were HBCUs.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
That was
how did they do though? I'm sorry.
Oh, they won. I'm sorry. They won.
Okay, that's right. It was a 100-meter dash who had the handoff issues and didn't even qualify for the finals.
That was them. That was them. And see, we're gonna jump around. You know, they ran it without any fans. It looked odd when they showed it. But no, Japan had $17 billion invested in it. They were about to lose if it didn't come off. And we got all this stuff that's going on, and we actually have situations where, you know, we're doing these sports and coming back. I'm just hoping that we can pull them off. Now, here in Florida, we getting so crazy, and the stuff with the kids, and you got your governor who seems not to, you know, he's more concerned about the rights of the parents. And what we have is, as we said before, we got an epidemic of the unvaccinated. And you got these children starting school, and they want to leave it up to the parents. But you got a couple counties that said, look, we're going to put a mandate in. Leon County and Broward County stood up and said, look, we're going to put a mandate in. And the governor said, not going to pay the superintendent, and they're not going to pay the teachers and everybody else. So it's really getting ready to be ugly. But one of the school board people were like, look, it's not worth it. You know, I can't risk children's lives, especially children that can't be vaccinated.
Right.
You know, for them to get sick, spread it, go back home, give it to their family. So we just in a whole different day and age right now.
Hats off to Rocky up in Tallahassee in Leon County and Tallahassee for making that move, for standing tall, as well as the people of Broward County.
Dr. Osgood, former Rattler basketball player, one of my groups.
Thank you, Dr. Osgood. I mean, on the real, we joke a lot on this show. We have a good time, but when it comes to serious business, I think we take care of that. This is serious, folks. I mean, and why I say hats off to them is because as I read, someone said no amount of money would make is not worth a child's life. And that right there, I mean, that right there, when you're sacrificing for someone else, and the people are making this political. It's not about politics here. It's about life and death. Life and death. Death doesn't care about if you're a Republican, Independent, or Democrat. Death just wants to. We got to get better. I mean, Governor, I'm gonna respect you, Governor DeSantis. Come on, man, get it together, man. Get it together.
Well, especially since your children aren't the ones going to school anyway. They're doing something else. You know, they're not in school.
Easy to make that choice then, isn't it?
Isn't it? You know, but what I want to do, I want to bring on a very, very, very special guest, longtime friend, way back with the 100 Black Men, and even before then.
Wow.
He's now he's John Grant, the executive director, and he heads the Cricket Celebration Bowl and the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. I mean, he's just involved with so many things. It's hard to keep up with the legendary John P. Grant Jr.
What's going on, Coach? What's going on, Coach?
Oh, man, you know, just having you in the presence, you know, we just glad to be able to say we know you, John.
Well, I'm happy to be here. And Ricky, this is my first time, man, getting a chance to go one-on-one with you, brother. And I just can't wait. Give me the ball, Coach. Give me the ball.
Wow, everyone's after the reporter here. No, I come in peace, John. I come in peace today.
Rick, he's a proud Aggie alum.
Of course.
Aggie pride.
Aggie pride.
Okay, they can do that, can't they?
So Ricky, you probably know when we say, you know, Aggie born, Aggie bred.
Okay.
And when we die, we're Aggie dead.
Oh, whoa. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Can I quote you on that one? Let me hold on. I got to write that one down. Can I quote you on that one? I just want to make sure because we are on the record here, though. I want you to know.
What? This is common. It's out in the open marketplace. If you're from Aggieville, so yes,
they're a little special. I you know, and you have to be proud of that institutional advancement that they continue to make at A&T. I mean, it was a few years back I was on their campus and saw the new buildings and the dorms and the things that they had on campus. It actually took my breath away. It was outstanding how they've upgraded, how they continue to excel academically and get corporate dollars in at North Carolina A&T, and you know, their love for their Aggies and those Aggies' love for A&T. It's admirable, and I'm exceptionally proud of A&T as our brother sister school.
Thank you, my friend. I mean, we are extremely proud of not just North Carolina A&T, but all of our historically Black colleges and universities. You know, we often, guys, there's a narrative around, you know, the struggle but I tend to discount that because we've always struggled in America. So what may seem like a struggle to some is just us doing what we do. I mean, we've always done what we do, and that is being able to take a little and make a lot. And so we've been able to take what would to some be a little at our institutions, and look at the three gentlemen on this call that are products of those institutions. So our ingenuity, our ability from the institutional leaders, the alums, the faculty, the athletic programs to take what they have and to make something out of it, just reinforces the capability of the young people that these institutions produce, the assets that they produce that are benefits to our country. So my hat's off to all of them, and that's why I'm so excited about what you guys do in your show, and certainly excited to be in the space where we can have the opportunity to tell those stories.
And we appreciate that, and the sincerity in which your words are always spoken, John. We appreciate that. And how many times in different positions that I've had that you have advised and given us some things that really helped us enhance what we were trying to do. And I remember when we were at the Booster Club and we made the Atlanta Classic, we put it in the home package where you were able to get parking for the Atlanta Classic and be able to purchase tickets before they went on sale to everybody else if you were a booster at a certain level. And you could get out the parking lot and walk across and be right where your seat was. And made, because I think we only had 3 or 4 home games that year, but having had the relationship that we had with you with the Atlanta Classic, we were able to do some things that nobody else had been doing. And we always appreciate that expertise and experience that you helped with us and helped us be able to do what we did.
Well, we appreciate that too, man. Your friendship means a lot, and you're in the club now, Rick.
Thank you. Finally, someone appreciates me. Thank you, John. Thank you. I've been getting bashed, man. It's been crazy lately, man. So I do appreciate. No, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that.
But John, let me ask you about something. They always talk about the Celebration Bowl, but do we give enough credit to the MicknRick Challenge game that kicks off the season? Because that has to be right around the corner for you.
You give credit where sort of credit is due. I think this, first I want to thank, everyone, the fans, all your listeners, everyone who recognizes the value of what the Celebration Bowl means. I like to say that North Carolina A&T is a direct beneficiary of that value. And certainly the institution itself has seen and reaped the rewards of being on and earning their way onto, HBCU college football's largest stage.
That's true.
And so the Celebration Bowl, has deserved what it gets and really deserves even more. And I will tell you, and this year being the 6th year of the game, would be played on December the 18th. We're just excited with to have the conversation about who's going to make it, because it's going to get sweet over there on that SWAC side this year, to see who's going to make it. And so I'm sure that's a part of the conversation. But as far as the MicknRick SWAC Challenge is concerned, we like to say the cricket MicknRick SWAC Challenge kickoff is we are reinventing the game. As you guys know that this game, this will be the 16th year, has historically been played since its founding on Labor Day weekend. We abdicated that spot, and the Orange Blossom Classic now has the spot that the Cricket MicknRick SWAC Challenge kickoff once occupied on Sunday of Labor Day weekend. We decided if you're going to open college football, then as Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights says, if you're not first, you're last. And so we definitely wanted to assume the position of first. And the way to do that is to go into week 0. And we're proud with ESPN because we had the conversation around what should week 0 really be. Then week 0, if you got college football games happening 1 week before week 1, that's when college football season really starts. And putting the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff into week 0 truly opens not just HBCU football, but it opens all of college football in week 0. And we're really excited about putting it in that position this year, and making some history around doing so.
How big is that, having it to kick off college football?
Well, think of it this way. Prime time, August 28th, 7:00 p.m. When people turn on college football in prime time on ESPN, on the mothership, not you, as Coach Prime would say sometimes, not ESPN 15, but we're on the main network in prime time. That speaks volumes to the fact that we're setting the tone for the entire college football season. So being first makes a statement for us, but more importantly, it's making a statement for historically Black colleges and universities. It's making a statement for these two conferences and the platform that we can now tell not only the stories of those two conferences, but the stories of HBCU sport in general and football in particular.
John, please let me. I'm old. I got wax probably in my ear. Got to learn how to clean it out. Did you say that game will be on the flagship station on ESPN, the real ESPN?
I did, and I also didn't. The part you probably didn't hear was that it's in prime time, 7 p.m. kick prime time. So that's that speaks volumes. I think first to the commitment of ESPN and Walt Disney Company. Mm-hmm. It speaks volumes to the quality of the product that we're attempting to build, and reinventing that product into something that's a world-class product that will rival the Celebration Bowl, because it will be this. There are two key parts. If I heard you guys talking about the Olympics, the two key parts of a race. That's the start and the finish. Mm-hmm. You start off bad, you finish last. Or you won't. It's difficult to win when you have a poor start. And if you don't run a good race and you get behind, it's tough to win. So we want to make the beginning as impactful as the end, and hence that's why we go to week 0. We're proud of our title sponsor, Cricket Wireless, who signed on for multi-years. As a result, we've had several other partners that have signed on this year. And we'll talk about those soon, but that's what we're doing to really create a world-class stage for our institutions and for our storytelling.
Well, a couple of things. First, congratulations on the sponsor, the cricket sponsor, and stepping in. That's significant. And they became the title sponsor. And as we know, the title sponsor, because of their investment, there's certain things that they're entitled to that other people are not entitled to make that investment worth their while. Rick, one of the things when you ask them about ground zero and being the first, I know in marketing a lot of times, even if you sell publications, I found certain companies that wanted the back page, certain companies that wanted the front page, and they would pay premium dollars to have the page that they thought was more impactful for their investment. Mm-hmm. And as time went on, they would be upset if that page was not available. And I would be upset if somebody made the mistake of selling that page before they had the first right of refusal. So John didn't say it, but I completely understand where he went in terms of being that entity that opened up college football and having a relationship with everybody. He just kind of reshifted, but still starts it from ground zero. And I just think that's an excellent, tactful move that you made, because out of everything, you know the climate of HBCU sports, and for years, and you have to have been in it to understand, because each one of these institutions, you still have to deal with it at some level.
And you're absolutely correct, Coach. Again, what we're attempting to do, and with the support of guys like you and other media, is to really create that space that will allow these properties to shine. Look, once you hit Saturday, Labor Day weekend in week 1, everyone is playing football, and it's hard to have a voice when you're competing against some of the big, not some of, but all of the larger institutions. It's hard to get the attention that you need. So the best way to do that is to give yourself a head start. And week 0 has been that sort of quiet, unoccupied space. And sitting here looking at it, we decided, you know what, we need to go over here. And as a result of doing that, making the shift, and with the support of our title sponsor, and I can't say enough about Cricket Wireless. I will tell you, they have been the greatest partner that we could have. Not only because they've signed on as the title sponsor, but they've taken ownership sort of the space in terms of beyond what they spend. They're spending millions of dollars to amplify the voice, and that's the kind of partner you want in anything that you do, when they really see the value and how that value, can add to the core of their business.
Rick, watch this. I'm gonna throw a alley-oop to John. Watch how he catch it with one hand and dunk it now. I'm gonna show you how versatile John is. John, you got the game coming up on the Cricket MEAC Challenge. Give us a commercial. Tell us who's playing and why people should watch it.
Well, listen.
I see he's liable to change his whole voice now. He has a whole different promotional voice.
So let me take my voice down and on. Listen, what we have in store for the week to kick off college football in week 0 is going to be a weekend like none other. We're going to open the season. This is in first time in history that that College Game Day is going to open in week 0. And this year, College Game Day celebrates 35 years and have never opened in week 0. So we are now opening all of college football with the largest program in college football, which is College Game Day. But before we even get to that, First Take which we're initially going to be on site, but they've canceled, as you all know, all for the entire fall season. They're going to be out of studio and they're going to do it virtually. College Game Day is much more equipped because it is a road show. And First Take, excellent show, wonderful producers. They're still going to give us everything that we were anticipating, with the exception of actually being on site live. But the entire show focus, which goes into hundreds of thousands of homes, is going to be focused on HBCU football in this game. So with Alcorn State University, I believe they're celebrating 150 years this year for the school, taking on North Carolina Central, 2 teams that have represented their conferences in the national championship game, the Celebration Bowl. North Carolina Central in 2016, and Alcorn representing the SWAC for 3 years, in 15, 18, and 19. You can't have a greater matchup than that. And so having those 2 powerful institutions on a national stage that we have constructed for them this year, and then having the capacity to tell the story of HBCU football from that stage, we're really excited about it.
Rick, I have been to the game a couple of times. Man, it's something. I mean, John, I'm really kind of disappointed because he was low key on us. He gave, the salesman in John usually goes a little bit more animated than that.
I'm saving stuff, Coach. I'm saving some things.
Oh man,
we're at the start right now, so I'm giving you the start. We're get down to the finish. When you come around the back turn.
For people who don't know, it's a game, both games actually, you can go to and never be a representative of either of the institutions that are playing and have a great time. I mean, we have a story. We went out and we were taping people. They were tailgating, and see, black college tailgaters are different from those who may not know. It's different from any other tailgaters. Black people cooking out there on that grill, boy, they doing some stuff. And then those North Carolina people, you thought the Florida people talk junk. Oh, those North Carolina people, they still in their car talking stuff. And the bad part about it, they could use to back it up. And now you're over there with the SWAC and the MEAC. It's just a natural rivalry. Do I sound like I'm excited? I am, because it's just, man, it's something to go to. I mean, I can't tell you enough about the positive experiences that INSiiGHTS has had going to the games, and just sitting there just shaking my head at all of it. I mean, and I'm from FAM, so we used to classic games and things. So, it take a little bit to impress a Rattler. It take a little bit to impress us. But when you go to one of these, yeah, it's a little special.
Well, what we're designing, Coach, is these are all about experiences. So our goal with the Cricket MEAC SWAC kickoff game is taking a little bit from each conference. We know that, for instance, the SWAC is a tailgating institution. I mean, a tailgating conference. That's what they do. So the MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff, Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff is the ultimate tailgate experience. When you come to the Celebration Bowl, we know that the MEAC, they're homecoming. So what is the Celebration Bowl? The ultimate homecoming experience. So what we're looking to do is bring our the alumni of all these institutions together. It's not only about who's playing on the field. That is important because you're about a football game. But guys, what we are in the business of ultimately is creating content. These games are just content. The experiences around them are content. And when I talk about content, I'm not talking about just content for television, but just what we're doing right now is we're consuming content. We're creating it and it's being consumed. When you go to a live event, it's entertainment, but it's really content. You're just consuming it in person versus watching it on a digital or linear platform. And so by taking the perspective of we are in the business of creating content and determining how our fans are consuming that content, live, streamed, through social, and through linear, then our focus is creating world-class experiences, period, that people can consume in the method in which they are, where they are to consume it. So let me add one other thing. So this year we've added, Coca-Cola has signed on. Can you raise that little Coke?
Can you say it again? Can you say it again?
There we go.
Coca-Cola, this is their hometown, has signed a multi-year deal with us. And they are the sponsor of our Coca-Cola fan experience. That's going to be the ultimate tailgate. And we're building out around that. It's going to be something like you've never seen, Mickey. And I know you've been, and Rick, you've been to a lot of HBCU games. But what you're going to see that we're building around the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff, you will not have seen anything like this, or fans who come will not have experienced anything like what we're building here. This is different. Just like the games that we put on are different. The experiences that you just talked about, Coach, it's different. We're not trying to replicate what's already out there. We're trying to take the best of everything and create a different experience. Something when fans come, they say, wow, I didn't know it was like this. You just heard him say that, right, Rick?
Yeah.
It takes a lot to impress a Rattler, but that Rattler was impressed. And what you said is true. And that's what our team is constantly focused on, creating world-class experiences through the content that we create and that they are able to consume. We want to give people things that they say, wow, I've never been to that, or I've never experienced that. And that's what we want them to know, that every time they come to the game, there's going to be there's something a little different this year than there was last year. So if you came last year, that's great. You don't want to miss this year because it'll be something a little different.
Well, you said a couple of things that I'm gonna use as we move forward. One of them, you said we talked about HBCUs and taking a little and making a lot. That's typically what we have done with our students and all of that. I'm gonna hold on to that. You should have put a copyright on it because I'm gonna use it again.
No, give it away, Coach. We want you to spread that love.
And then you said, which I really love, you said it's the HBCU football's largest stage.
It is.
And when you said that, I had never thought about it that way.
There's nothing close. Let me clarify what I mean by that. See, we are accustomed to measuring largesse by how many people are in the stands or how many people are in attendance. The model moved away from that a long time ago. And the larger predominantly white institutions in the Power Five and all of those, they recognized that when they really started to migrate to understanding the power of television. Because when television first came on the scene, a lot of conferences didn't want to deal with television because they thought, wow, it would impact our gates.
Sure did.
But they didn't realize look, the money at institutions is in the students. It's not the money. Let me repeat that. The money at institutions is in the students. So if you want to grow your institution, grow your student body attendance. You want to grow your athletic programs, grow your student body attendance. Now, how do you do that? Exposure. North Carolina A&T became the largest HBCU in the country after participating in the Celebration Bowl. In 2015, they were averaging about 7,000 to 8,000 applications per year. This past year, over 40,000. You see, so when you take when I use the Celebration Bowl and say, we have nearly over 3 million viewers. Tell me anything that's close to that. Tell me any other game where you have nearly 3 million people, HBCU game, consuming that content. So when you add, people in attendance, what we call total live audience, the people that are there, the people that are streaming it, the people who are consuming it on linear television, those that are consuming it on radio. When you add those numbers together, that is called total live audience. There is no game out there even close. And I've already done the analysis. So I know the numbers of each and every one of them. Not even close to what the Celebration Bowl, the Cricket Celebration Bowl, or the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge. Not even close to total live audience. Hence, when you do that, guess what happens? Now, other things occur. College Game Day shows up when you're in the right position. First Take gives you added. So now that total live audience that I just gave you grows exponentially. North Carolina Central and Alcorn State, who made these decisions, before we made the modifications. And I told both athletic directors this: you guys walked into a gold mine because you signed up. When we called them up and said, "Hey, we'd like for you to do this," they signed on early, 2 or 3 years ago. And guess what? They've now walked into the biggest stage that HBCU football will have ever had in the history of the game. Let me repeat that. In the history of HBCU football, well, there will be no stage bigger than the one that's going to happen with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff. Because not only are the shows that I mentioned, but there are side shows, there are plug-ins, there are a number of things that ESPN will be doing leading into this game that have never happened around any HBCU game in history. Now I'm putting my sales hat on. Now, the question that for fans is, do you want to miss that? Not me. I want to be front and center to say, you know what? I was there when it occurred. And if I can't come, I'm going to turn it on because I want to be a part of consuming and being a part of the experience. And let me finally tell you a couple of other facts. This year marks the 25th year of the Centennial Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. 25 years ago, in 1996, the Olympic Games were in Atlanta. This game is going to be played in the Centennial Olympic Games Stadium. So history happens here.
Oh, he's going now.
He's getting warmed up here.
Look, this is what's supposed to happen in the A, but it's also supposed to happen because our institutions and our people and our fans who are avid fans are supporters of our programs, support also the great thing about our institutions that we support each other. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes these things so unique. And I'm not saying that because I'm telling you that when I go to the Bowl Association meetings, that's the conversation I have with all of them, including the national championship game, who tells me, John, you have something that we don't have. And that part is true. And you know what that is? The spirit of our institutions, built on the spirits of our ancestors. You know, and that's why we are able to do what we do, because of the help of all of them.
Well, John, as always, we appreciate you. We continue to have you on because the fact that you always give us so much knowledge, and we always try to educate people to what's going on with the games that you represent and how they affect the community. And we appreciate you taking the time. And definitely, we're going to have you back again. That's just what we do. We want to make sure that everybody knows about these contests, what's going on with them. And we appreciate you being with us. We really do.
Well, thank you for that. And for information about the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff, please visit MicknRickSwacChallenge.com. MEAC, MEAC, Challenge.com for tickets, information, and all the latest information. Please follow us also on our social platforms for MEACSWACChallenge.com. And guys, thank you so much for having me. I very much appreciate it. Coach, you've always been a great friend, long time, and you know how much I appreciate you. We'll do anything that we can to help you and what you guys do. And guys, keep up the great work. I love listening to you. You certainly know how to put it out there. And one final note from me that I'll say to all your listeners: get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. Whatever trepidations you have about being vaccinated, we really need to get over those and realize that the way we saw smallpox in the world was people got vaccinated. You know, kids are required to take certain shots before they go to school every year. And recognizing the very young can't be vaccinated, but our adults can be. So I just encourage everyone to get vaccinated. If we want to enjoy life the way we have, then we've got to make sure we're looking out for everyone. And the best way to do that is to get vaccinated.
Amen.
John, we appreciate all your words. We will talk again, and thank you.
Thanks,
for being
John.
a part of INSiiGHTS.
Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Wow. 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 You know, Coach John got me excited.
Hold it before you go too far. I got somebody that's been waiting
Oh,
to come on.
oh, Coach.
Yeah, I'm always pulling something out. I have the legendary Charlie Ward. If I gave all of his accolades, it would probably be until tomorrow when we finish them. He's always so soft spoken and articulate. From Thomasville, Georgia, just right up the road, a scrambling punter for a while, then a quarterback. Yeah, we remember all of that, Charlie. We remember all of that. All of us watched you. We remember all of that. So we the only time I remember FAMU people pulling for Florida State, they were pulling for you. They wanted you to do well. And Charlie and I have been talking back and forth, and I've been really trying to get him on for something else. But because of the death of a legend, I asked Charlie to come on and just, well, first of all, welcome to the show. Welcome to INSiiGHTS. Welcome, Charlie. Can you hear me?
Coach, can you hear us?
We can't hear you. We cannot hear you, Charlie. You can't hear us?
Oh, wow, Coach. Ouch.
Right. I don't know what that is for him. I don't know.
Can he come back out, go back out and come back in perhaps?
Did you hear some of what he said that time, Charlie?
Can you hear anything, Coach Ward? Charlie? Anything? A little bit?
Let's do this. I'm gonna take you off. Yeah. We'll try that. See if that works at all. And see if he comes back. We actually had talked to Charlie and asked him to come in and kind of say a few words for a show that actually we're doing that will come on later this week about insights, and we have some pretty good commentary from people relative to Coach Bowden. What do you think of John? What do you think of John Grant and what he was talking about, Coach?
You know, he got me very excited, Coach, about the game and the opportunity here to showcase HBCUs. And I mean, week zero. That, I mean, you're starting the season. You're getting everyone, and everyone's been chomping at the bits for this season because of what we've gone through. So I'm excited about it.
Charlie, you're back. Can you hear us this time?
Ooh, a little bit. Did I get a little bit from him?
We heard something. I don't know what that was that we heard. But it doesn't seem as if we're able to get him. You still can't hear us, Charlie? That looks like he's still trying to work with it.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure he's going to have a heck of a not presentation, but his stories about Coach Bowden would be fantastic. I mean, right in the middle of the heyday for Florida State.
Well, he was the heyday. He was the heyday.
And honestly, he really got me. Charlie Ward, being a Rattler, he got me excited about FSU,
right?
Because as you mentioned before, Rattlers didn't really care about the school across the tracks, but Charlie Wool kind of changed that. And then during his Heisman Trophy run, wow, a heck of a run there.
You still can't hear us, Charlie?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
Charlie
sorry
Ward.
about that.
It's okay. Then you didn't hear all the things I was saying about you. I was kind of going on the.
I hope they were good.
Huh?
I hope they were good.
Oh, they couldn't help but be good. We had to repeat some of them. Say it was the only time in history the FAMU fans pulled for FSU was when you were under center. Well, really, you wasn't under center. You were creating your own offense.
Gun.
You were creating your own offense. We all pulled for you. We wanted you to do well, Charlie.
I appreciate it. Well, you know, I'm the son of a Rattlers, of two Rattlers. So
now we know that they were who were they? They were roommates or friends with Coach Riley or somebody. They were real close. Your dad was.
My dad, he played with Bob Hayes, China Doll. I'm not sure if y'all. Yeah. So we grew up going to Florida A&M games.
Wow.
Yes, we heard, and we knew you were kind of partial. There were a couple guys at FSU that were really kind of close to the people at FAMU, and you were one of them. They always pulled for you, Charlie.
I appreciate that.
You know, but one of the things that we were trying to do is that we're putting together something for Coach Bowden.
Okay.
And we wanted to be able to get from you a little bit, you know, some of the things that you may have learned from or picked up from Coach Bowden during your time playing for him.
Well, I mean, Coach, the one thing I learned from him was he taught the whole child. He coached the whole child. So what I mean by that is, you know, it wasn't just X's and O's. It was all the things that pertain to life, like being accountable to your teammates. You know, being patient. That's something I had to learn, you know, going in that, you know, I wasn't going to play for 3 years, the quarterback position, so I had to be patient. His whole motto was faith, family, and football. So his faith was definitely took precedent over the winning. That was just a byproduct. His whole mission was to see people get saved. And he imparted that into us. You know, every year he would take us to 2 churches before the season started. Take us to a black church. He'll take us to a white church, and they were all different churches in the years. And so that was. And after that, he's like, you can choose what you want to do. You don't have to go. But it was more so a team event. I mean, if you opted out, he didn't hold it against you, but he just knew what was going to be the right thing to be able to help us move forward. And you know, those are the types of things that he did that we all will remember. Just his faith, and then the family aspect. You know, he allowed his coaches to be around. And he didn't want his coaches cursing because we had family coming out to practice, kids or moms bringing their kids out to practice. And so, you know, and then we had dinner. We had dinner every week with the family. It's family night. That's how we knew and grew up learning about each coach's family, the kids. So, you know, it was just, and they ate with us. And so it was just a great blessing to be able to be in that type of environment. And those are the types of things that I remember. I mean, we won and did all those types of things, but, just that environment and that culture that he built, that's what led to winning. Of course, there was discipline as well, and within the program, and the seniors and the juniors, they led the young guys on how that was to, go down, and and then our actions on the field and in the classroom also warranted, discipline, because if we didn't go to class and they checked, GAs went around and checked, then we knew what the deal was. There's no black and white. We knew that we had early morning stadium steps, and so those 85 steps definitely curve a lot of issues. So just those types of things are the things that I think, when you look back, those are the things that I remember the most. I mean, like I said, we won games, and I was blessed to be able to win a championship. But those are the things that's going to keep us, or help us as we continue to mature as men of God.
Well, in during the time that you came, you actually had, or during the time you played, you actually had some interesting personalities on the team. What would Coach do to kind of? I heard you say 85 steps kind of cured a lot of problems, but you always had a couple that were a little challenging. What are some of the stories how Coach Bowden kind of affected those guys, or they tried him?
I mean, he loved on them, but the rules were the rules, and so the coaches knew, and the players knew. Everyone knew. It wasn't like there was some hidden agenda or some hidden rules. And if you broke the rules, then I mean you had the consequences. And I mean, guys, missed curfew. Guys left after the curfew check. All those things happen. But if you got caught, that's just the way it is, and that's the way most people play anyway. You play until you get caught, and once you get caught, you just have to be willing to live with the consequences. That's something I'm always preaching, even today with my kids. If if you're going to do something, just be willing to live with the consequences, and don't try to blame somebody else for a decision that you made. So, yes, we had characters just like every other team, but they were subjected to the same discipline, and that we all were. Some just chose not to uh, go across that line too often.
Coach,
Charlie,
go ahead, go ahead, Rick, go ahead.
Charlie, was there anything that that you took from Coach Bowden into your coaching?
Well, just coaching the whole child. I was blessed to have my dad, and I watched him coach for quite some time. Growing up, he was a coach, and he was all about the kids that he coached, helping them to make choices that were going to be good choices. And when they didn't make good choices, loving on them as well. And he took care of a lot of kids. He was I call them village dads. He was a village dad to a lot of kids, and I actually was in the car when he was taking guys home after practice because they didn't have a ride. And I saw him washing uniforms, bringing uniforms home. I saw him mopping the floor for practice. All those things is what I call a servant leader. And Coach Bowden was very similar. He talked the whole child, and so that is something that I try to do as well. We work to have life skills where we're imparting wisdom on things, social issues that they may have, questions they may have, just to be able to help them understand. But they can't say that they didn't know. Like some people, well, I didn't know. Well, no, you did know, but you chose to do something different, and so we love on the kids as much as we can. We give them opportunities, just like my dad and Coach Bowden gave myself and other guys opportunities to be able to improve themselves. And so that's my whole mission and goal is to make sure that guys are understanding who God has created them to be, and also to take some of the characteristics that we're teaching in a team concept that's going to make them better men, later in life.
That's excuse me. That's well put, Coach.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna close with one last question, and that is, if you had some final words that you would say to Coach Bowden that you may not have had the chance to say, what would those words be?
Well, after leaving Florida State, our relationship was rather sporadic in the sense that I would call periodically, but I didn't come home very often. But I would see him periodically when I came home to football games. But a lot of the things that we talked about, he was proud of what I was able to do, and I was just grateful. I was asked to speak on behalf of the players when we honored him at the governor's mansion a couple of months ago, and it was just thank you for giving me an opportunity and a lot of guys opportunities to be able to better ourselves by getting a degree. I was able to get my degree at Florida State in 5 years. Also, realizing the goal of being able to play professionally, football and basketball. I mean, football and basketball in college, but basketball professionally. And he was just, it was just a great blessing, as well as a great man of God because of his word, his integrity. He was honest, he was fair, and all I can say is just thank you.
Well put.
Coach, I appreciate your words, you being patient with us to get to you,
Thank you,
John
Coach.
Grant preceding you. And we just appreciate you taking the time to talk with us and share your thoughts and some of your experiences with Coach Bowden, the legend himself. And we are going to take some of the clips out of this and put in the program that we're doing with some of the other former players and coaches that know him, because they need to hear your words and the words of those who actually knew him. But I appreciate you being a part of INSiiGHTS Show. And I don't want you to be a stranger on our show now.
All right.
Come back, Coach. Come back to us.
Oh, having me. For sure.
It's so many different things we could touch on you about when we do some things further down the road, because I don't know that everybody knew that you had, been drafted pro baseball out of high school and then out of college, and you hadn't even played in college. And then Rick, did you know he was a real good tennis player too?
I did not know he could play tennis, but I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And King Golf, Rick, and King Golf. See, when you talk about a jack of all trades, they talk about Dion and his ability to play a lot of sports. Coach Ward played just as many. He was just quiet.
And good.
And he was good. We won't take anything from Dion. He was good too. But we want you to know that we appreciate you being on, and we definitely want to have you again. And our condolences about Coach Bowden, and that was the guy who brought you here. You played for him, and Heisman Trophy winner and national champion. We just know that it was something that had to affect you. So we appreciate you taking the time to do this.
I appreciate it, Coach, and Rick having me on.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
You are the legend.
Yes. Yes.
Stay up to date with the latest from Insights. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.com.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
Rick, that was a good show there.
Strong show, Coach. Strong show. Strong show. Thanks to John as well as Coach for coming on, and there's nothing else to be said.
Oh yeah, let me close on this. The show that we're doing from Insights on Coach Bobby Bowden. I have some people on there that have made some interesting comments that you want to hear. Billy Joe. I talked with him today.
Oh yes, yes, the band.
I talked with Billy Joe. I talked with Jimmy Black, the quarterback under center when Bobby Bowden won his first game at Florida State. I talked to him. I talked to another gentleman from the FSU Hall of Fame who brought Renegade to the Seminoles and how Coach Bowden and Ann really supported that. We got Corey Fuller. So we have some people that are sharing their thoughts, and some of them are really pretty interesting, and in some cases, emotional.
You know, we throw the word legend around a lot, and sometimes I think we overuse it. Coach Bowden he was that, and you could do whole shows on him. I mean, because we both have stories on Coach Bowden and how he made us feel just didn't know us from Adam the first time he met us, but always welcomed us in. And from then on, we're part of the clan. So my condolences to family, friends, coaches, teammates, players on his death. But he led a great life, and he had an impact on hundreds and thousands of people. So
on both sides of the track.
Yes, both sides of the track, definitely.
Rick, I appreciate you as always, the reporter's favorite reporter. And this is Insights. We're signing off. We'll bring the INSiiGHTS Magazine show to you this week before we even do our next Mick and Rick. But we will be back because there's a lot to talk about that we didn't even talk about because I need to talk to you about those rookies in the NBA. Our rookie, even though Cleveland drafted Evans, my rookie is Jalen Green. Woo, he blistered Cleveland the other night for 23.
Yes, great game he did. We could go on. We're going to talk about the definitely because I love the summer league games and I've been following them. So
you know how long I've been wanting to go to Las Vegas, just sit back, but then they eat popcorn, watch the game.
And Wizards, stay off of COVID so I can see you play, please.
Right. And then we still got to get our fan night back because NFL football is right around the corner.
Marcus Brown, I heard what you said. I got you, Cowboy fan. We coming for you. We coming.
Todd Lampley was on you too again. So yeah. We coming back now. Hey,
we'll be back soon.
Get your shot.
Peace.